Hi everybody, and welcome to the channel. Today I have some beasts of news that have been pulled from a wet market on an asteroid belt in the far-off future after Earth splintered into a million pieces following a nuclear fallout. These news creatures may be hard to look at and difficult to swallow, but if you trust my cooking, just know I'm going to prepare a nice soup that'll go down easy and fill your belly. So, let's dive in. Binance is getting booty bumped by the UK. The block reports that the UK regulators have banned Binance Markets Limited from regulated activities in the country. Now, before you go and tell everyone that no one can trade in the UK with Binance, please listen closely. They have stipulated that Binance Limited has to stop undertaking any regulated activity in the country. So, what is regulated activities when it comes to cryptocurrency? Well, in the UK, crypto assets themselves, such as Bitcoin and Ether, are unregulated. So trading cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ether is not banned in the UK, and you can trade cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ether on Binance in the UK. What is being banned is the unregulated trading products such as futures and options. So there are plenty of videos on the internet that can explain to you what crypto options and futures are. One way to understand options and futures is to look at a contract between two individuals. Some of these regulated activities would be like betting on the price of Bitcoin rising or falling. So two people enter into a contract, often done on an exchange, where you bet with someone else that Bitcoin will rise or fall. If you bet on the price of Bitcoin rising $1,000 and the other person bets on the price of Bitcoin falling $1,000, if it rises, the other person pays you $1,000. And if it falls, you pay them $1,000. But you didn't actually trade the currency. In fact, if the other person who bet that the price would lower wins, they're actually making money from the price of Bitcoin lowering. So they're not really exchanging Bitcoin at all. They're exchanging a contract. And these marketplaces such as Binance allow you to trade in these contracts in a centralized exchange, and the UK is cracking down on this kind of activity. So although this isn't necessarily a knockout blow to Binance in the UK, this is a continuation of a trend that we've been seeing of the global scrutiny against cryptocurrency exchanges. So we've seen this scrutiny come from, of course, the US and Europe, as well as Japan and Canada. So this is an article coming out from, again, the block Crypto Exchange. Binance says it will no longer serve Ontario users. So this is a harsher crackdown from Ontario than from the UK on Binance. Essentially, Binance announced Friday that all Ontario-based users must close out all active positions by December 31st. And this is coming from the Ontario Securities Commission taking legal action against unregistered crypto exchanges, Binance being one of them. They've also focused on Bybit, Poloniex, and KuCoin. And they've alleged that these exchanges fail to comply with the securities laws. Now, again, this has been a topic of debate. It has been debated that cryptocurrencies in themselves are securities. So, for example, if a currency is released to market as an ICO, an initial coin offering, when you invest in that currency, when you buy the tokens, essentially you are buying an investment into that project. And if that project becomes successful, you make money. So this has been pointed to as a reason why cryptocurrency should be treated as securities. Other people would argue that they aren't securities, they are currencies. And so this has been a debate. But Ontario is cracking down, and it seems like they are treating cryptocurrencies as securities. How is this tasting so far? Good? Great. Glad you're enjoying it. BTC China is closing up shop in China. This was the country's first Bitcoin exchange, and they have exited the Bitcoin business. This is among, as we've heard in the news, Beijing's extensive crackdown on Bitcoin mining. So what is going on in China? So Beijing is regarding cryptocurrencies as a threat to financial stability, as it allows people to circumvent the government's strict capital controls. So does this mean that other cryptocurrency exchanges will no longer operate in China since BTC China is pulling out of Bitcoin business? Well, not necessarily. So let's just clarify this information as well. BTC is immune from Beijing's latest ban on processing Bitcoin-related transactions, the company said, adding that money going in and out of a platform remained normal. BTCC is not impacted for now because BTCC doesn't provide trading of cryptocurrencies, but derivatives of cryptocurrencies. So it's interesting that in China, we're seeing a little bit of an opposite play than in Europe, where China is cracking down on Bitcoin specifically in this case, and BTCC is allowing the derivatives market, the futures and options trading, to continue. So they're finding a way to remain active, although they are no longer participating in Bitcoin mining or trading. But again, you can still trade a derivative of Bitcoin by betting on whether Bitcoin will rise and fall. And that is a huge market. But things are going down a little bit differently in South Korea. So this is some fascinating news coming out of South Korea. This is on the Korea Herald. Cryptocurrency exchanges that have too many coins on their trading platforms are at risk of being denied access to personal bank accounts here. So basically what's going on here is that crypto exchanges in South Korea are required to partner with banks to issue accounts. So there has to be a level of agreement and communication between the banks and the cryptocurrency exchanges, and the banks are responsible for screening the exchanges to assess risks and transparency. Exchanges that fail to find a partner will be at risk of shutting down. So banks in South Korea are being given a high level of power and an ability to accept or deny an exchange customers. Because if you can't link your bank to an exchange, it's hard to withdraw your money from a cryptocurrency exchange into the fiat currency in your country. Now, if you're existing and living completely in the decentralized currency space, if you don't use fiat money, if you've found ways to simply use cryptocurrencies to survive, then this actually doesn't really apply to you. But for anyone who wants to pull fiat money out of their cryptocurrency exchange in South Korea, this is putting a lot of pressure on exchanges to prove that they are not risky to banks. A few factors in what makes an exchange risky are really interesting here. The nationalities of their virtual asset customers or cryptocurrency customers, their occupations, and the respective proportions of customers in each group will be used to assess the risks of the exchanges. Nationalities? It's unclear in this article. The specific nations deemed as high risk were unrevealed, but customers working in the private loan shark business or the gambling industry were occupations classified as risky. Yeah, imagine putting on your tax return loan shark as your occupation. Are there any loan sharks out there? Is that like an actual classification for a job? I thought that was like what you call someone who breaks knees if you don't pay them. I feel like if you're trying to avoid attention, you might want to choose another animal to call yourself. Maybe private loan koalas, or private loan beanie babies, or like private loan chocolate labs. Something that's approachable. Just my recommendation. But whatever you're calling yourself, it's fascinating to see that more than half of the certified exchanges in South Korea have been removing some altcoins from their platforms or placing them on a warning list, because they're wary of stricter digital currency transaction rules taking effect in September. So South Korea, China, the UK, Canada, these are big markets. And the continuing regulation in these markets, and surely we will see more, it's going to start pushing people to look for more options outside of some of the registered, centralized cryptocurrency exchanges to trade some of the more volatile assets and some of the newer assets, the altcoins that are coming out, this huge boom of projects from all the innovation in blockchain technology that are trying to find platforms to be traded on. And so people are going to be looking for new ways to skirt around regulation and to still engage in this incredible marketplace. And a big need to be addressed in this moment as people migrate away from centralized exchanges in some of these highly regulated areas is to find exchanges that offer all of the convenience and the usability of the centralized cryptocurrency exchanges, and combining that usability with the features of decentralized exchanges, combined with the access to altcoins and newer projects that are in the DeFi space, some of the functions of DeFi that allow you to participate no matter where you are, that allow you to participate in staking and farming, and these complex automated liquidity features. So a project that I've talked about before, but I want to bring it up again, is CyberFi. And so CyberFi is integrating the features that are commonly provided on a centralized exchange and allowing you to exercise trades on a decentralized exchange with those features. One example is that it would allow holders to automatically move part of their funds into a different blockchain network. For instance, moving your ETH into the Binance blockchain. It also brings in some of these really useful tools that you find on the centralized exchanges, such as setting take profit and using stop loss orders. So CyberFi popped up because it's addressing this need that's so relevant right now while countries crack down on exchanges, while people migrate from centralized exchanges that are being regulated and are looking for new platforms that have the functionality of the centralized exchange with the incredible features of automation and DeFi trading. So check them out. CyberFi.tech is where you can find them. Friends, family.
Sweet little precious, cute, and adorable regulators.
I wish you best of luck on your adventure, have fun, and I'll be talking to you soon. Until then, goodbye for now.